right, let's get to it, because the topic that I want to discuss is obviously Jeremy Buendia made that video. You actually put it on your Instagram where he was doing a live feed with someone, and he basically said that men's physique saved the bodybuilding world, because he felt that the bodybuilding was dying, and that men's physique and bikini saved it. And obviously, him being the Olympia champ was personally responsible also for helping to save bodybuilding. And you took offense to that, as did a lot of people in the industry. Dexter Jackson made some very bold statements on his Instagram, as well as a bunch of other people. And it seems like that seems to be the hot topic now, so everyone's kind of chiming in on it. What's your take on Jeremy? I know you have a personal, you know him personally from up in California where you were born and competed before. Give us your insights on this.
Yeah, like honestly, like I didn't take offense to it. I mean, I don't give a fuck what he says. Like I don't even consider myself a bodybuilder anymore. But I like to call out the bullshit, because I know where Jeremy's roots are. Like I know where they actually came from. Because when I was 17, my second NPC show ever was the NPC Contra Costa in 2010, and he competed there, and he won. He beat me fair and square. He was fuller, better. He had the fuller package at that point. And then we went to do the NPC California after, and that's when Hani Rambod was training this kid named Seth Sandler. This kid could have been one of the top pros, like a top Olympian. Of course, Hani was riding his cock at the time, and so he could have been great. And we thought we were going to go in there, battling it out again. And this kid just completely destroys us. And I ended up getting fourth, and I think Jeremy got third, and this Russian guy got third. But me and Jeremy used to text all the time back then, and he always had an arrogance about him. Jeremy has always had that pretty boy arrogance, I'm better than you. And he lived up in Roseville, California, which is around the Sacramento area. And I lived down still in Los Angeles, but I moved up to the Bay Area. So I'd see him at shows. I was the industry at the whore at the time. I would drive 5 hours to go to a show like a fucking idiot. So I went to all the California shows. And man, he was gung-ho bodybuilding, like I'm going to be on the Olympia stage, like I'm going to get a pro card, and like I even said in my post, like back in 2013, after I won the Contra Costa, he was still doing these shows, but he was placing third and fourth in novice, and he wasn't even placing in his class,
Wow.
And even Phil Viz made a post. He posted all of his, bodybuilding, and it was like third or fourth in novice, second in novice was like the highest he ever placed or something. And then in open, he wouldn't even place. And that's around the time when you were training me and I won the Contra Costa.
Right. Was this, now when you competed initially and he beat you, were you guys teenagers? Is that what it was?
I was 17, he was 19.
Okay, so yeah, you lost him as a teenager.
And I won the Contra Costa, and he was doing the same shows, not even able to place a novice. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he took Easy Ray out, and it's funny because I actually have a friend that knows him. He was at one of the Fresno shows, I think the Fresno Classic. And I think it might have been Steve O'Brien, or I forgot which promoter came up to him and said, man, you need to try this new class, because it came out, the first men's physique show ever was the Fresno Classic in 2012. And I think the next year, after I was getting ready for the Contra, and I think Jeremy ended up doing one of those shows as a bodybuilder. He said, man, you need to try this new class. And Jeremy was like pissed about it. Like, I'll never do that. Like, I'm a bodybuilder at heart, whatever. So I guess so many people were getting to his head, you need to try this new class. He jumped and did his class, and I think he won like every show ever since. He hasn't lost in the physique division since.
Wow.
But he was such a gung-ho bodybuilder. And back in 2013, I used to sell him drugs, Dave. He used to send me money, and I would mail, get his drugs ready, and I would send him. And he would talk to me about his drug cycles. He would ask for me his advice. He would tell me what Hani wanted him on. And it was like a gram of test, 700 Tren, 700 Masteron, like 200 mgs of Proviron, which I know Hani is huge on Proviron. He'll run like, Hani has some of his guys run like 200 to 300 mgs of Proviron every day for the last like few weeks. But yeah, he was big on that. Jeremy was like, bro, can you send me like 500 tabs of Proviron? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, fuck buys all this Proviron? And he sent me a cycle. So we used to go over all, cycles. He used to ask me, my advice. And he was running, bodybuilder cycles, like you said. The norm is at what? A gram of test at like 400 to 700 Tren, 400 to 700 Masteron, 300 Primo. Like these are not like 100 test prop every other day dosages.
Right.
And I think these black guys that he competes against are probably running, fucking 50 mgs of test prop every other day. And probably it's probably fake. And they probably, And I think a lot of guys look better than him, Dave. I honestly do.
Who do you think looks better than Jeremy?
Huh?
Who do you like better than Jeremy?
I like that. What's his name? Is it Fredrickson? No, is it
Andre Ferguson? Andre Ferguson.
Yeah, that guy looks good. But I've seen a lot of guys that even land in the third call outs that I'm like, wow, if I saw him in the gym, I'd be way more impressed with him than a guy like Jeremy. Jeremy has like a super long torso, very awkward, and all that stuff. So it's just funny knowing that he used to be so gung-ho bodybuilding, talk shit like, oh, I train my legs.
So you think you're saying he's a hypocrite? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's a big hypocrite because he definitely, Dave, you know, some guys never even thought they'll never step on a bodybuilding stage. And then these new divisions come out and they're like, oh, I like that look. Maybe I could try that. I respect that, Dave. But if you were a one-time bodybuilder, hardcore, and you're going to switch over because you think you could place better, I think that's the easy way out.
So do you think? Are you saying that the because you are a little more in touch with some of these guys on that are just up and coming? Do you think that these younger guys who are doing physique, who are doing classic, are they using just as many drugs, you think, as the open bodybuilders?
On the pro level or amateur?
Amateur.
I think on amateur level, yes. I think on pro level, no, not even close. I think amateur level, all the drug dosages are similar because I've seen your cycles. I've seen, all the top gurus that train these guys that these guys go to. All your guys' cycles are pretty freaking similar, Dave.
I agree with you. I don't think that they're using less drugs at all. But I think it's one of these excuses like,
you would agree that the classic physique Olympians versus the open pros are using more than at the pro level.
Well, maybe because I think the open pros probably overdo it, but I'm saying they probably don't need to overdo it. But I think that there's the drug use is not being curtailed.
Insulin growth, and I think a lot of these pro guys, physique guys, aren't using insulin and stuff.
I hope not. I bet you some of them are.
Well, I know some of them are because I've worked with a few of them, but I mean. I've worked with a few physique guys that come to me and they're already pumping fucking, at the amateur level, they're already on insulin and shit. Yeah, it's insane.
Were you offended? I mean, I know you're not offended by anyone, but should people be offended by what he said?
It's not offended. I'm more pissed. I'm not pissed. I'm more like, wow, like this fucking phony fuck that used to want to be a great bodybuilder is speaking this shit. If it was from a guy that never was trying to be a good bodybuilder, I wouldn't even care. But it's from a phony fucker that that some arrogant, and he's very arrogant, Dave. This guy thinks that he could pull any bitch, that all these bitches love him. Like one of those guys, like, oh, like they love me and I fuck all these bitches and all this shit. He's one of those guys, you know what I mean? Like it's just horrible. Dave, I have a funny story. So like he tried to, this is in 2011, my ex-girlfriend at the time competed at the MPC San Francisco show in Hayward, California. Right. And me and her had broken up, and Jeremy and her were talking, and he was trying to hit that shit, right? So I was like, I got mad. I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, we text, and you're trying to smash on my ex, right? Yeah. And then so he starts talking shit like a little chihuahua on the internet, like, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass, like you mother, like, all this shit, right? Like, it got crazy. So I was like, all right, motherfucker. I was like, I'm gonna be at that show. We're gonna meet at the parking lot. We were supposed to fight, right, dude? This motherfucker never showed up to the show. He's such a fucking chihuahua. He was yapping so hard, like I'm gonna beat your ass, all this shit and all this. I'm literally in the parking lot waiting for him. He doesn't even, Dave, the guy doesn't even show up to the show. Wow. So it's like watch the girl that he supposedly wants to, get in her pants. Right.
Well, you are a big guy. You're over 6 feet tall. He's not the tallest guy, so.
Yeah, but Dave, I was like 18 at the time. Like I was some fat fuck. I would have probably gassed out in like 10 seconds. But he's still a pussy. I at least showed up.
Since we were talking about Jeremy, how do you think Jeremy, since he does have legs, how would he do in classic physique?
Oh no, he wouldn't. He has no back, Dave. Like that guy has no low lats. He has a long torso. He would get crushed. Crushed.
How do you think he'll do at the Olympia?
I think he'll do good. I mean, he has a pec tear and shit. Right. I think he'll do good. I mean, fuck, Hani's on his cock. I mean, who else? I mean, shit. Everyone that Hani rides does very well. I think he'll do. I think he'll do good. He'll probably win the first.
Even coming back from a pec tear, huh? Because that's a tough injury to come back from.
Yeah, and Jeremy is one of the only guys that, 8 months out of the year, Dave, he looks like fucking shit. He looks like a doughboy. He does not follow a diet. He gets off the drugs probably. He looks very bad, and that's why his Instagram is only throwbacks. So when he's in contest prep, he like probably pays a photographer to take 1 million pictures of him while he's in contest prep. So for the 8 months when he looks like shit, he could just keep posting pictures from his prep. But he doesn't mention the throwbacks. It'll be like, check out my clothing line or check out this and that. You know, so I don't respect that, man. I think if you're truly a bodybuilder, if this is your lifestyle, you should look good year round. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I try to stay in shape year round. You know, I don't, you know what I mean? There's no reason to get out of shape. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if he wants to post whatever he wants to do, and if his followers are dumb enough to realize that he only looks like that a couple months out of the year. I mean, that's fine. It's fine, and you know what I mean. But see, Dave, I'm not good. I don't understand, and you're probably the same way. I don't do stories like Facebook or Instagram stories.
Right.
I don't know how these people have time to do it, Dave.
I don't either.